today we're not going to have a whole lot to talk about. Basically, we're just kind of winding down from the development we were doing over the summer to get ready to start the big push on a brand new platform for the mobile. So what we're still working on, of course, is call log. The release is going to happen this Friday, so everybody can get ready for that. You want to hit me to the PowerPoint? Oh, we got rules. That's right.
Yep, same rules as always. If you have questions, just put them to me in the chat. Actually, unfortunately, my chat is not working right now. Not because of this, because my computer's goofing.
Okay.
So yes, if you have questions, send them to me. I will get them taken care of.
Okay, we'll look at the chat box before we stop and go through the questions. All right, so our rules are there. Let's flip to the next one. All right, so we're dealing with the new changes to the login screen. You should have seen those by now, the things like that. Just let us know how, what you think they're better, if they're not. They're a little more consistent with our website now and the kind of what Jeff is putting together for unifying our look and our message. Hopefully that'll all work correctly. I don't know, Jeff, did you want to say anything more about that?
Well, no, the only questions I have about that, I'm trying to figure out, like, how do they look? Do they look good? Are there anything that we missed? Great, I'm glad to hear. Anything that we missed, anything that we can, any place we can put the new logo on, anything that we can change. Just trying to figure out if there's anything that we've missed, or if there's just any other feedback. So, got great feedback thus far, and we're going to continue finding places to update the logo and just continue doing that. So, glad to hear we love the new changes. Please again give me some feedback. Let me know if there's anything else that we can do to improve it, or anything that we can do to make that look a little cleaner for us. So, cool.
Very good. Okay, so call logging update. That was pretty straightforward. We went through a big webinar on how it was going to look and feel. It's very much the same, but what we wanted to do was make sure it was as error-free as possible, because we feel that most places are going to have the call log screen up all the time. When calls, because you never know when a call comes in. I mean, you're in the middle of something else, so we wanted to make sure that would function correctly in all cases. So that's why it's taking a little while. Plus, with the new mechanism that we've uncovered in the way the call log with the two screens, we're changing the main forms on all the other main forms to use the same kind of mechanism with the two screens. So it's easier to get through a lot of stuff now. It would be a lot faster. And hopefully that'll help make the, especially if you have two monitors situation, that'll really help the ability for you to be able to go from one to the other and move around in the application. It should work out. If it doesn't, we can always change it to another way, but that should all be done by Friday. So we're doing that, and it's been going really well. It's just we got two little minor things that we're trying to iron out right now. Let's see, then we had some changes in payroll calc. We've been working on a variety of places where in payroll calc, in order to find where you were on the tax table, we had to take what you currently made this current paycheck and multiply it by the number of annual pays and estimate that as your, total pay for the year. And so then, we would look up, so we'd come up with the number, and we, minus the number of exemptions and multiply that all out. So we got an annual number that we calculated. And then we'd go look it up in the tax tables and get, you're 28% or 23% or 22%. Tax rate, and then we apply that to your current pay. Well, that is optionally one way of doing it. It leads it to the issue that we've been finding is when somebody has like a one-time payment or there's an extra payment in the year, it means that the person, usually is in a different tax bracket than what they've been charged all year. So what we've changed it to was to take, okay, if you tell me that the person has 26 pays this term, and you're in the 15th pay of that 22, we're going to add up what he has made before that, all in the current year up to the current pay cycle. We'll add all of what he's made, and then we'll just project what's remaining. So we would only project what he currently made and say that's what he's going to be making for the next 6 payrolls. I can't remember, my math is way off. For the next 7 payrolls, that would be what he would be making. So then that sum would be what we use to look up in the tax table. So we kind of take advantage of, as we get closer to the end of the year, it'll be more and more accurate as to where in the tax tables we pull the information from as far as what tax rate. So it's really hard to show anything on the screen for that. Just know that that's going to be coming on Fridays. So people's federal pay, and if you're in a state that uses a state table like you're doing, Wisconsin has a state rate table that is based on how much you make. So if you're in any of the places that we have that's table based for the calculation to look up to get a rate, that's the formula we're going to be using in that rate. So what it means is, when somebody does make the 100,000 or the 80,000 in his payout, and then is still going to work four or five more pays during the year, that we are correctly taking the right amount of money out of the remaining pays in the year as well, which before we weren't really doing right. So hopefully it'll be more accurate in the end than it has been to date. I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of questions about that. So we'll be sure to hear once we get the open questions to commit to do that. Let's see, then basically all we want to do is the purchase order calc screen got a big update. And what we did there was we made the column so that when purchase order calc, if you're not really using it, not a lot of people do right now, we'd like you to, but basically it runs through your inventory items and says, this is, you set a minimum and a maximum, and if you drop below the minimum, we try to order it with the purchase order calc. So it's a pretty straightforward thing. So when you do that, it puts it out on the list. The list itself has some issues, so we made the list so it's more flexible, so that you can sort by any column you want. So if you want to sort by vendor, you can sort by vendor. If you want to sort by quantity, you can sort by quantity. Things like that show up on the list. It's not that hard to do, and we made it sizable and kind of like what it should have been all along, but we just didn't get around to it till now. Other than that, we really haven't changed much to it. I mean, the formula is still the same. The way it calculates is still the same. It's just when you're picking which ones you're going to actually order, you got different ways to look at the list. And let's see, and other than that, there really hasn't been any major changes. What we're currently working on as a side thing is we've sent in so far to the federal government the W-2s for 2020 to get those approved so you can print them on plain paper. And we've sent in, and we're working on the 1099 NEC and the 1099 MIS report so that they'll print properly on the purchase. You still have to purchase it because the federal government doesn't have any provision for plain paper printing of those. So you got to buy the pack because the form that goes to the federal government has to be on the red ink. So it's kind of stop. We don't want to use paper. And then of course, the brand new 1099 NEC, and we've already covered in the webinar the changes that were made to vendor main to allow you to change which person, what each one of those had in it. So it's a lot easier to manage doing that. You just have to know. I mean, the difference is you're going to have to know on the vendor which one to use based on the rules from the IRS. So I'm not going to try to cover those today. Because as far as I can tell, they're pretty straightforward from what I've read on it. I just wanted to make sure that that we have the ability to do both, so that you're not thinking, oh, what are we going to do? We're going to do those by hand. No, we will have a report that will be able to print the 1099 NEC and the 1099 MIS. Just remember, you probably have a lot of people that are, probably have to do both. The only other thing to know is that the 1097, I can't remember if it's the 1098 or the 1097, which is a summation of your 1099s. You'll have to do two, because the 1097 only allows you to say this is the summation of my 1099 misses, and then you do another one that says this is the summation of my 1099 NECs. But most packages, when you buy a package, has a 1099 included with the package. When you buy a package of 25 NECs or 2599 MIS. All right, that's really all we have to cover. We're expecting most of this to come out on Friday. The reports themselves, while we're still working on the forms, we'll have those out as probably by the end of this time, but they'll come as a midterm or midweek or mid-month update for those. Okay, so Jeff, you want to look at the questions or get that up and so we can see what questions people are having?
Sorry about that. I was talking on mute.
Yeah, that was helpful. We heard you really well.
Oh. So
if only we had that for our kids.
Mute button. Or at the very least, a volume down.
Yeah, at least be... like a little volume.
Okay. Let's see. Unfortunately, I am having some issues. My screen is moving. So,
okay. Do you want to put mine on as host, and then hopefully yours will show chat?
You should have ability to see the chat.
Oh, I should?
Yes. All right. My apologies, everyone. I am my screen it turns off, and the only way I've been able to fix this is by just turning my computer off, turning back on again.
Oh, but they send chat messages to you directly, not to me.
Oh, darn it. Okay. Give me a sec. I'm...
Oh, figure.
Try this. Come on. Come on.
Okay, well, I'm going to unmute everyone.
Give me a sec.
Oh, no, you have to unmute them. I can't unmute them.
Oh, shoot.
Because we don't have that many people in here. We only have 4 people.
Gotcha. Hold on.
Yeah, why don't you just unmute everybody?
Okay.
And we'll all just gonna have a great big huge Zoom meeting.
Let's do this now. Nope. Okay. Nope. We didn't have any questions actually.
Oh. Well,
Yep.
unmute everybody so I can also everybody can say goodbye, and then we'll end it, and I'll go back home and crawl into a fetal position and cry till my.
There we go. Great. Asked everyone to unmute. So,
Okay.
yep, for Jody, the call log is very important for our daily use, and the last time we updated the call log did not work for a couple of weeks, and we had to do without it. That was bad. I don't want to update on Friday if it doesn't work. How do we know that it'll work for sure?
Because I've been testing it every day for the last 6 weeks, for the last month and a half, as we've tried to move it up to the new Windows platform. It's much different. So if you go back and relook at the webinar that we have, you'll see that it's radically different. But we think it's better. It'll be a lot more functional for everybody, especially as you can just kind of take the window and set it aside. If you have, like I said, if you have 2 monitors, you can put the call log on a second monitor altogether. So we're definitely testing it. I mean, we did fix it so you can email again. So that's been turned back on. The thing that was turned off was just so it emails right now, the current one. So again, it should be back in functional the way it was, but Friday you should see another one. One thing we have been finding out though is that a lot of places emails are starting to really clamp down on software being able to send email. We just had another big turn off by the Outlook.com. So we've been putting in a lot of changes to the emailer that will allow Outlook.com again to email. So like if you have if you have anything from Microsoft at live.com or Microsoft at or Outlook.com or Hotmail.com. I think they've got two other ones, .coms that they're there. They all use the same engine, and that engine stopped. We had to provide to Microsoft a magic number when we just send those emails out so that they'll go out. And so we've already done that. All right, everybody. It's been a pleasure. It's been a short one, but there really hasn't been a whole lot, other than, like I said, we've been trying to finish up a lot of places so we can get started on the new mobile app. So see you later, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.